So I'll put a quick schematic for the situation in this question. So we're going from, let's say this is town A, this is town B, Arvind is here, and Surabhi on this end. So they tell us that they both start at the same time and they meet at some point. Let's say that is the meeting point, which means that Arvind has traveled, let's say D1 kilometers, and Surabhi has traveled D2 kilometers before they meet. Now they continue here past this point, so Arvind would have traveled this distance D2 at 54 kilometer per hour and takes 6 hours. So that gives me this distance D2. And if you calculate this, this is 324 kilometers. So we know that distance. Now D1 part here, we're told that Surabhi takes 24 hours to reach this end. So she would have covered this distance, and I'll call her speed V sub S times the 24 hours. So that's the other relationship. We're looking for the total distance. So we're looking for D1 plus D2. We already have D2, so it's really D1 plus 324. Now, what's the other equation? The other relationship is that when they meet at this point, they have spent the same amount of time to get to this point. So we can write the two equations separately for these sections. So that distance D1 would be Arvind's speed, which is 54, times the time. Let's just call that T. It's the same time that Surabhi will take. So we'll do that as well. D2, which is, we already know is 324, is speed of Surabhi times this T. Now here, note the T is the same quantity. My interest is really in V sub S and D1. So I'll eliminate T. So T is D1 over 54. And from this, T is 324 over V sub S. So from this equation, I get 324 times 54. And then I also know D1 is V sub S times 24. And you'll note that the way I obtained this was 54 times 6. So I'm actually going to go back to that. You'll see why. So here we'll get square of the speed. We have 24. This is 54 square and then 6. That would drop this out. And then V sub S square would be 54 square over 4. When I take the square root, this will be 54 over 2 or 27 kilometer per hour. So that's the speed at which Surabhi is traveling. So that means I can calculate D1. And you can use a calculator here. So that would be 648 kilometers. I have to add 324 to that to give me the total distance. And I get 972 kilometers as the distance between the two towns.